Concerns are rising about an aggressive online marketing campaign from an offshore gambling company. The ad, played on YouTube, features former Black Cap and current England cricket coach Brendon McCullum calling on viewers to sign up for 22Bet. Andre Frood from the Problem Gambling Foundation is with us now. Good morning.
Good morning.
Tell me about what your concerns are with this ad campaign.
Well, there's a couple of things. Firstly, this is obviously aggressively being marketed and targeted towards New Zealanders with a familiar face, Brendon McCullum, which Kiwis know, which serves to legitimise and endorse the advertising and make it look like it's a New Zealand site when it's not. And of course we have, they're offering bonuses as well, which incentivising it, which is really concerning. And in terms of harm, we know that people who gamble on offshore gambling sites are more likely to experience harm.
We were talking in the ad break and I said to you, is this the most aggressive you've ever seen of this kind of campaign?
Oh, absolutely. It seems they're using ghost accounts to be able to bombard people with these ads. And I haven't seen anything in terms of gambling advertising like that before.
Tell me about that direct correlation between what people might see in an advertisement on YouTube and what that might do to them later on down the track. Because for some people might say, well, it's harmless, and if you choose to gamble, you choose to gamble, and it's a free country kind of thing. But what do you see from your experience?
Well, legally, Kiwis can go and gamble on these offshore sites, but what a lot of people don't understand is that it's not regulated by New Zealand law. So by gambling on these sites, they are putting themselves at risk. So if something were to go wrong, it's outside New Zealand jurisdiction and they're not protected by our Gambling Act. And of course, our Gambling Act is from 2003. So it's old now in terms of the rise in technology and everything that's happened in the last 20 years. So people who do go and gamble on the site, they are putting themselves at risk from that perspective, and also from the obvious risk of online gambling, which of course, can be quite addictive. People can gamble on it and it's easily accessible 24/7 and easily hidden as well. So it's a risky form of gambling.
What is your what you talk about the concerns? Is it the frequency that is most concerning to you, or is it the use of a familiar face like Brendon McCullum?
Well, it's a mix really. I think having a familiar face like Brendon McCullum means that Kiwis see that and it sort of legitimises it to them. He's familiar, perhaps trusted, and it makes it look like it's a New Zealand gambling site, whereas in fact it's not.
We have a clip of the ad. I think it's important for people to have an understanding of what we're talking about here. Have a look at this.
I'm Brendon McCullum, brand ambassador for 22Bet. Doesn't matter where I am, but I'm always in the game. Bet to play, bet to win.
It's pretty flashy.
Yeah.
But people are saying they're seeing them everywhere. Sue's emailed in to us to say this ad is so annoying. Brendon McCullum was a favourite sports person of mine. I've now started hating seeing Brendon's face so much. How concerning is it that they're targeting people so frequently and so regularly with these ads?
Well, look, it's really concerning, and actually the first time we heard about this ad was actually from my colleagues who'd gone on to just a YouTube site to watch videos and were getting these ads just popping up all over the place. So yeah, it is really, really aggressive.
So tell me about what it is that you've done. You've complained to the Department of Internal Affairs?
Yes, we have. We've also written to the English Cricket Board expressing our concern about, a familiar face being used to target advertising to New Zealand, and it's a harmful product. Gambling online causes harm, so that is our main concern. We don't want to see people getting themselves into trouble.
What response have you had so far to those complaints?
Nothing yet, so we're still waiting.
The Department of Internal Affairs has released a statement to us, and in it they say, though we take online gambling very seriously, under the current Act, the Department as the gambling regulator is limited in what measures we can take against overseas online gambling platforms. Currently, the prohibition does not apply to gambling conducted overseas, and it is not illegal for a person in New Zealand to gamble with an overseas gambling provider over the internet. What do you make of that response so far?
Well, look, that is true. They are limited by what they can do, of course, and it isn't illegal for Kiwis to gamble on these sites. But what we need to see in this country is more regulation around this, and we're really, really pushing for that. The department started a review of online gambling in 2019, and we haven't seen the outcome of that yet. And we want to see some robust regulations around this to protect Kiwis.
They do go on to say 22bet's current advertising is misleading, as they are not a registered New Zealand sports bookmaker, nor are they licensed or regulated in New Zealand by the Department of Internal Affairs. So can we do something here? Can we regulate these international?
Yes. Absolutely, we can. I mean, we have the TAB and Lotto that are licensed to operate in New Zealand. Of course, they're the two online providers that are able to, but we need to see much more regulation and really stringent host responsibility measures so that we're protecting people from harm.
You said our Gambling Act is 2003, so it's about 20 years old. Is it fit for purpose? Does it need to change?
It needs to change.
In what way?
Absolutely. Well, we need to see, obviously, we've seen exponential growth in online gambling over that time. So we need to see a lot of regulation around online gambling to protect New Zealanders.
And what would you say to people who are being targeted by these ads at the moment, bombarded by these ads? What would your advice be to them?
Not to do anything, just to ignore them.
Simple as that.
Simple as that.
Andre Food from the Problem Gambling Foundation, thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thanks, Maddie.